Good morning. Hey, there we
Camera.
go. Camera. Cameras are good. It's the thing we do, right? All right. Good morning. Wake the hell up. It's Brushfire Mind. We got a little something special today. So it's Firearms Friday. As I'm sure you've been tracking if you've been watching this show, we this is number 10. We are 10 consecutive weeks with DRT dead right there, where a bad guy tried to do some bad stuff and a good guy with a gun took care of business. Now, I want to say this before we get into the story. Um, a good guy with a gun solves problems. The thing about relying on the police when you're dealing with an active shooter is this. The adage is when seconds matter, the police are only minutes away. And that's a fact. Uh, the Supreme Court has held on several occasions. I've mentioned several of those cases here. Uh, like Gonzalez versus Castle Rock, I think was one. But the under the law, you always see the police cars. They say to protect and serve. The police have no legal obligation. They have no lawful duty to protect or defend you. That is not their job. The police are not required by law to intervene in the commission of crimes on your behalf. If you're being beaten to death in the street, the law does not require a police officer who is there seeing it happen to interfere. The only thing the police have to do under the law is investigate crimes and apprehend criminals. Now, we do have a general expectation, which is most likely to be met, that if there is a police officer present, that they will do the right thing, not because they're police, but because they're men. And we should hope that men, especially good men who are lawfully armed, will intervene to protect you. I saw this little gem on Facebook earlier today, and I wanted to share it with you guys this morning. A little something from the Twitter. I'm not sure who this Rogan O'Handley guy is, but I might need to check him out. DC Drano, that's funny. If you're attacked in a gun-free zone and didn't bring your gun in order to comply with that rule, the creator of the gun-free zone should be legally liable for your injuries. Guarantee those stupid signs would start coming down real quick. Um,
It's an interesting idea.
and I think it's absolutely on point. I think he's 100% correct. If you as the decision maker, a business owner, a school administrator, a lawmaker of any kind, decide that you don't want guns in your safe space, uh, you have assumed the liability for the defense of the people who attend your facility. If somebody's there, now that is not a statement of legal fact. That's a statement of moral and ethical fact. Um, if if I'm in your movie theater and some nutbag with a gun starts shooting everybody in the middle of a Batman screening, and I'm not armed,
Yeah.
phew, oh, and I'm not armed to deal with that eventuality, then you, as the general manager or the regional manager, whoever, at whatever level it was decided that there would be a gun-free zone rule put into place. If I am unarmed because you demanded that I be, and suddenly my wife and children are under threat, but if we don't settle out of court or in court, we might just be settling in the yard.
Yeah. And just to go back to what you started this off with, you know, There was an armed man on the scene at Parkland for the majority of that shooting, and he was just kind of a pussy. And God knows how many children died that day that didn't need to because the armed man that was there was a pussy. Now, he's fired, but
But he hasn't
he's,
been incarcerated or executed for for his his criminally professional negligence, which resulted in deaths.
yeah, so it's not a joke. Cops are not actually legally obligated to risk their life for yours. They're just not. So, with all that set up, and the fact that we are 10 weeks in a row, and
Yeah, we got a little something special today.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm not gonna start pulling my toes into this shot.
Well, I mean that's pretty good. Yeah!
Witness.
Witness.
So, and we've even got a local one.
Very local. This is half an hour away from me.
Yep.
So, police pay a sub say a sub yeah, the police paid a subway employee to shoot. No.
No, yeah, yeah. This is, by the way, this is coming from Monday the 30th.
Yes. Police say a subway employee fatally shot one man and seriously injured another during a double shooting in Lithonia. So this one's I actually had a little trouble following this one at first. But 3 people were involved in the shooting that occurred near a GameStop and Subway on Panola Road. One man died at the scene and the other is in serious condition at the hospital. According to the detectives, there was a verbal dispute between the Subway employee and a customer. The dispute continued outside and the employee fired several shots, striking the 2 men. Police reported the employee has been detained for questioning. Now,
Do you have the update?
where's the I'm
You don't
sorry,
have.
this is the original article. It doesn't have the update.
That's okay. I'll
Here it
just.
is.
Oh,
Customer charged in deadly shooting outside DeKalb subway. Go away, AJC. I just canceled my subscription to AJC the other day. Shot 2 people Monday night. Will not be charged. Determined he had a gun pulled on him first. There we go. So, the thuglets were starting some noise. The employee defended himself. Thuglet number 1 went to hell with a sucking, gaping chest wound. And Thuglet number 2 is
hey,
mercilessly retained.
yeah, Chris, I hear myself coming over your speakers.
Really?
I just
Keep
did.
talking. Keep talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately.
I think I just leaned in too close to the microphone with my headphones on. Is that better?
Oh, that is better. That's
All right.
amazing. So, look, here's specifically what happened. Thuglet number 1 walks into the subway, asks for something to drink. The employee says, you have to buy something, and then I can just give you a drink. There's a little back and forth. The Thuglet leaves, continues to stand outside the shop, and jawbones with Thuglet number 2 in what I think we can perceive as a threatening manner. And at one point in time, he actually holds a gun up to the window and says, "You want some smoke? You want some smoke?" That's when the subway employee felt threatened, obviously, and drew his weapon and shot both men. And yeah, I mean, pretty clear cut case of self defense. You come in and you get verbally hostile with me, and then you continue to stay within my line of sight continue to be verbally hostile. You recruit a friend and continue to be verbally hostile, and then you draw a weapon. Yeah, yeah, that's clean shoot. That's yeah. So hashtag DRT and the thuglet that survived. This is funny. He's actually the one being charged, not the subway employee.
Right.
Because whoops.
Now, I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that. The wounded suspect is being charged with felony murder and aggravated assault. I see aggravated assault. I think felony murder is a little weird here.
A lot of counties have a provision in place that says if someone is murdered in the commission of a crime and you are one of the people committing the crime, you are also legally liable for the murder. This is actually not an uncommon legal precedent.
Right. I know that. I'm chewing on it, and I'm not sure. I think I like it. Even though the fact is that Jeremy Furlow did not himself commit murder, he does clearly bear some responsibility for the death of his friend because they were committing a crime together, and the commission of that crime resulted in the death of what's his name, Bradley. He had one of those. Anyway, what's his face? The dead kid. No, I'm good with it. So, oh, okay. Now this changes that thought a little bit. I've got the two characters backwards. It looks like from this sentence that Furlow was the one that was making all the noise and causing all the problems.
Yes.
And his buddy Bradley, the one that ended up dead, was so Furlow's the one that pulled the gun.
Furlow pulled the gun and Bradley ended up dead. So Furlow is legally liable for his death.
Oh yeah, I'm totally good with that.
Yep. So that's play stupid games,
win stupid prizes.
Yep. So what's that special thing?
Yeah, so that's 10
here.
consecutive DRTs. And we got a little something special for you. Guys, we worked our asses off on this and had a blast with it. Little short film for you. Little something special. Here we go. Oh dear. Is someone trying to break into my house? Oh, shit. I gotta go call the police. Oh.
This is 911. What is your emergency?
Yeah, 911, yeah. This is Christopher Lowry with the Brushfire Mind. I got a plate of spilled SpaghettiOs I need cleaned up at 123 Your Street, Anytown, USA. That's right. When you come in with a mask on, you can expect to look like a plate of spilled SpaghettiOs. All right. Guys, I had an absolute blast making that flick. We had a 4-man crew on that one. It was me and obviously me, my big fat ass. Cameron was in the pantyhose. Yes, sir.
Hey, Chris, is that my official online directorial debut?
I believe it is.
Yay! This is just winning all over the place.
So yeah, Cameron gets the director credit and the writer credit for that one. And maybe not obviously, but I think obviously because he looks like Mushmouth. the actor.
I was Obakeba.
Yeah, he was OBKB. He was OBKB right up until he shimmed my front door open. Woohoo! And the 911 operator voice there was literally, it wasn't just my wife. It was, I have that from another short film that we did called The Kingmaker, where she was the 911 operator. And as I was putting this together, it just occurred to me like, oh, hey, I've got this, yeah, boom, boom, click, click, drag, drop, done. Groovy. And there it is. So that's 10 weeks in a row. A good guy solved a problem, and he did it with his Second Amendment rights that the enemy is so keenly bent on taking away from you. And that's why we did that little short film.
Yeah.
Keep an eyeball out. We're going to have a Subscribe Star up and running pretty soon. We need to get some revenue flowing through to start paying for the production costs of work like that so we can do more and more short films.
Of it. Oh, yeah, we would do a lot more things like that if we could.
I was talking to my buddy Shay Kirkpatrick yesterday, and he said he loved it and wants to see us do. He'd like to see a whole series, just the big fat guy with the gun at, stops a bank robbery, stops a liquor store robbery, stops a slider at gas stations, all that. And, I think he may be onto something.
Yeah, that might be that might be the thing. And so for 10 weeks in a row, barring the one time we were a little more somber than normal, I'm going to say it again. Kids, remember, if you never try and knock over a liquor store, the liquor store owner never pulls a double-barrel shotgun out from underneath the counter, fills you so full of birdshot you look like a plate of spilled SpaghettiOs. It's just a fact.
Birdshot, buckshot, birdshot, buckshot, buckshot, buckshot.
Yeah. It's just so you can pepper him up real good. I can assure you, though, at point blank range, that birdshot's still going to ruin your day. Like, yikes.
Yeah.
And just as a humorous little point of fact, that was indeed actual SpaghettiOs on my chest for the movie. Like, we literally sacrificed a can of SpaghettiOs for that shoot. My chest was dyed orange for a couple of days. I was actually laying on the ground there for some time. I couldn't move because I didn't want the SpaghettiOs to spill off.
Yeah, as we were setting up the camera for the for the second angle on him laying on the ground. Cameron's laying there trying to be just as still as he can be. Guys, for real, there's things starting to crawl on me down here. I wish we'd have caught some of that in the footage. But all right, that's so that's the show. You got anything else, Cameron?
No, that's a good show.
That's a good
Wake the
show.
hell up.
We'll see y'all Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't fry bacon naked. And as my old unit commander Willie D. Jumper used to say, sex, drugs, alcohol, extreme sports, and videotape. No two at the same time. Have a great weekend and be safe.